All right, it's time for Stories with Rav G. I think that this is something that if you're a parent listening, that you can use for the Shabbos table, and really at any level, at any layer, at any point in life, stories are often the most inspiring way to change our life. So thank you for coming back to listen. Here we go. Today we're going to be reading a story by Rabbi Avram Ohayon in his Sefer called A Living Sefer Torah about Rav Chaim Kanievsky. And we're going to start with the first story, page 8. Well, actually, it's not the first story, but page 8. The great Gaon Rav Chaim Kreisworth, the Av Beis Din of Antwerp, Belgium, had a close friendship with the great Rav Chaim Kanievsky. The two Rav Chaims, exchanged numerous letters between themselves, peppered throughout with Divrei Torah. One year, Rav Kreisworth came to Eretz Yisrael. Among the many Gedolim he visited during that trip was Rav Chaim. When he returned to Antwerp, Rav Kreisworth shared his impression from his trip. During this visit to Eretz Yisrael, he related to those close to him, I had the unbelievable zchus of buying a mantle for a Sefer Torah. His listeners were surprised. A mantle for a Sefer Torah? They wondered aloud. Did the rabbi need to go all the way to Eretz Yisrael for that? In Antwerp, we also have many Sefer Torah, and you could buy beautiful mantles for one here too. Rav Kreisworth waved his hand dismissively. No, he said, I'm not talking about a written Sefer Torah. I bought one for a Sefer Torah Sheba'al Peh, a living Sefer Torah. Now they were very curious. Rav Kreisworth's listeners were now even more confused. A mantle for a Sefer Torah Sheba'al Peh? A mantle is something you use to tie the Torah. How do you give that to a person? What was that supposed to mean even? Now, the Rav explained, when I went to Rav Chaim Kanievsky, I discussed with him in person many Divrei Torah. And what my own eyes and ears saw and heard astounded me. The entire Torah, every part of it, is spread out before him, right at his fingertips. The Gemara, the Midrash, the Talmud Bavli, the Talmud Yerushalmi, the Sifra, the Sifri, the Midrashim, the Tosefta, Mechilta, Agada, Halacha, the Tur, and the Shulchan Aruch. Absolutely everything. It's stored all in his head with a powerful, deep depth and clarity. For those of you who haven't heard this before, he used to learn the entire, what's called the Kol haTorah Kula, every year during the entire year. For in 1 year, every year he would do this. And on the year of his death, he passed away right after he had completed it. It was almost like you feel like the Hashem was waiting or something like that for him to have his completion before he had left the world. Meanwhile, Rav Kreisworth is discussing this. It made me so excited that I turned to Rav Chaim and asked if I could please have the honor of buying him a new frock. At first, frock is a coat, one of those fancy coats that Rabbanim wear. At first, Rav Chaim refused, as expected. He argued that he did not need a new frock, and thus it would be a luxury, something he did not wish to have. But I begged and pleaded that he please do this chesed and allow me to buy him the frock. And finally, Rav Chaim granted me my wish. I immediately went out to a store in Bnei Brak and bought a beautiful quality frock for Rav Chaim. Rav Kreisworth's face shone. Now, you tell me, he said to his listeners back in Belgium, isn't this called dressing a Sefer Torah in its mantle? Remember we said he used the mantle to tie the Sefer Torah? If you ever are at Shul and you see that they pick up the Torah for Hagabah and they wrap it up and then they put the gartel on and then they put the mantle. The mantle is that coat, like that cover, the velvet cover that goes on the Sefer Torah. And he said, I got the cover for the Sefer Torah, the beautiful coat. Rav Chaim is a Torah Sheba'al Peh, a living Sefer Torah. And I was zocheh to be part of the mitzvah of dressing a Torah Sheba'al Peh with a new mantle, with a new beautiful frock. Sometimes we think about a Torah with such kedusha and kavod, and we look at it and we kiss it and we watch it come out of the hour when we stand up for it. And sometimes it's easy for us to forget that the Jewish people are Hashem's precious cloth for the Torah as well. And you look at certain Rabbanim who come in, or our Zaydis, or our parents, who are holding Torah, and when we stand up, there's a kavod that you can give to Hashem's Torah even then. And the greater the tzaddik is, of course, the greater the mitzvah of the kavod is as well. Just an amazing way for us to reframe the way that we think about how we honor Torah, and that the same way that when the Aron Kodesh opens up and we get up right away and we stare at the Torah and we kiss it and we love it, that's how we should think about our tzaddikim as well. Have a great day.